Dela Wright, my MVVs, welcome.
Yes, so Dela Wright report reaching us right now is that the Ooni of Ife has shocked everyone as he actually went ahead to dump, Ebony from Astana Delegation last minute. Now, if you have been following the trend of event, a lot have been happening in the palace lately. Ooni of Ife does seem as if he's in that place where he has made up his mind on the number of women he really wants to work with. It looks like he is in that place where he has decided that whatever you bring on the table is what you get to see. And then he decided to have them work on their schedule again. Last week, you heard where we talked about the fact that Naomi is taking the center stage on Ooni of Ife's schedule from August this year, 2025. But something happened. Now, apart from the fact that some of the international conferences that he's had to attend, they pull out a lot of names and replace them with so many other names, like Blow Blow, Dr. Lizzie, and Oletik's name, okay, leaving others behind. One major adjustment that Kabiyesi made that people could not believe was the Astana International Conference. A forum adjustment. Now, if you have been following the trend of event, you know that Ooni of Ife doesn't just get up and start going. It's always everything he does is on schedule, okay? The entire year, like the entire first quarter of every year is on schedule. Then after the first quarter, the second quarter, because he is a very big man, and so, or a big king, and so people don't just get up and begin to invite him to places and expecting him to come, okay? You have to give him like 3 months notice. So for people who are inviting Ooni of Ife for weddings, birthday, they give him like 3 months notice, 2 months notice, sometimes 4 months notice. For international conferences, they give them a lot of time to work, with the schedule that has been given, because they want to be sure that Kabiyesi has the time to attend. And if Kabiyesi must attend, you have to work with Kabiyesi's schedule. This is what we are hearing, if the information is true. So the Astana International Conference, they say that they have fixed everything. And one of the Oloris that was supposed to go with the Ooni of Ife was Ebony from the very beginning. Now, between last 2 weeks and last week, a lot of adjustments was, made in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. And, in terms of his schedule, Naomi taking the center stage from August. But between this time and August, some of the Oloris were still on the list. Even Ebony is supposed to still attend some events with the Ooni of Ife. That is between now and that August, okay? On the schedule, they say there are some events where Ebony is still supposed to go with Ooni. There are some events where Ekpe is still supposed to go with Ooni, and there are some events where Gospel is still supposed to go with Ooni. The changes, were effected from August 2025, where at that time everything concerning the full moon ritual and everything would have been okay. But to people's greatest shock, the Astana International Forum, they removed Ebony's name, like removed it completely. And the worst part of it is that Ebony ought to have prepared her mind when, because the handwriting was on the wall, has been on the wall. But apparently she never ever thought that it was going to affect the Astana International Conference. And she thought that they would still go. And we heard that she was hoping that that event will happen. So she would take this opportunity. Kabiyesi has a very sweet heart, like a very kind heart. There's a way you beg him and pamper him, he will forgive. So she was hoping that this event would be one of those, opportunities where she will have to really talk to Kabiyesi over things that have been going on, to see how, Kabiyesi can let go of some of those, annoyance, grievances and all of that. But Kabiyesi left Ebony. Meanwhile, let's talk about the Astana International Conference, because I do know that a lot of people, this might sound to a lot of people, this might actually sound very strange to them. They may not know what the Astana International Conference is. Now, Astana International Conference is a global platform held in Astana, the capital city of, Kazakhstan. Okay, the 2025 edition of the forum took place from May 13th, to May 14th, and it brought together world leaders, thinkers, policy makers, investors, and royalty from across the globe. The main focus of the forum was to discuss global cooperation, climate change, inclusive development, and cultural diplomacy. It's an important gathering for countries and leaders who want to build partnership and find solutions to international challenges, especially in a world still adjusting to the economic and social shock of the post-COVID era and new global realignment. The Ooni of Ife was one of the few African monarchs, especially invited to the forum, not just because of his royal title, but because of his consistent role in cultural diplomacy and youth empowerment across the continent. He was scheduled to speak on a panel discussing traditional leadership in modern global governance, a topic that deeply aligned with his advocacy work both in Nigeria and abroad. Now, in the interest of those who don't know what this conference, or forum was all about, or who didn't know what the forum was all about, yes, what I have explained now happens to be what the forum was all about. Now, in the weeks leading to Ooni of Ife's travel to Kazakhstan, there was speculation that he, would travel with a carefully selected delegation that included cultural ambassadors, 8 business stakeholders, and the course, one or two of his, of course, they say one or two of his Oloris, and they say initially it was Ebony that was slated, to be part of this conference. Like, she was slated to be part of the conference. Now, with all the katakata that happened in the palace, because this is a big international conference, usually you register with the names of the people coming. So let's say, for instance, Ooni of Ife is going for the conference. Ooni of Ife would be registered, and the name of the delegate, the members, the people who are coming with the Ooni of Ife will be registered. You see that normally when he goes for this kind of event, he goes with a lot of people. He goes with up to 5, 6, 7 people. He goes with these people who are like the Oriki poet, all those Oriki poet people who are doing those with due respect, Dela rights, I do this with due respect to our king and everyone. You see those people who are doing they mix them. They have some there that they call Oriki poet. They go and they showcase what we have, how rich we are as Africans, our tradition, our culture, and all of that. And it's part of the reason why KBC continues to go with all of these people. So normally for these kinds of conference, when you go, you kind of put in the names of those who are going with you. And they said Ebony's name had been registered from the very beginning. And so now when the drama started, when it was looking like, yes, Ooni of Ife made up his mind on the number of wives that he was going to be working with, they did not bother. Ebony, was bothered, but as it concerns the Astana conference, Ebony was not bothered because she thought that KBC was still going to go with her. At least her name had already been registered. But knowing that at the end of the day, KBC actually made them to remove her name, remove the name, as he made it known that she, Ebony, was not coming again, was what broke her into 1 million pieces. Right now, it does seem as if she is in that place where she's beginning to understand the gravity of, some of the decisions that she has been taking. Because at the end of the day, you cannot blame KBC for the things that have been happening. KBC went out of his way to marry a lot of you guys, even with the whole world jumping at him and all of that. I want to believe that it's a man who, cares, or a man who truly feels that he owes you something, that will want to take the kind of risks that Kabiyesi took, because he almost lost Olori Naomi along the line. And when you came in, one would have expected that you maintain peace. One would have expected that you maintain honesty, integrity, and all of that. That is what everyone was expecting. Okay, at the end of the day, try to make peace with the woman that the man himself says he loves. But you kept fighting and fighting, and now look at the result. They said she was broken into pieces over this event, and Kabiyesi went for that forum without her or anybody. Going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.